Good morning, Bears. We are kicking off the day with exploring our microorganism universe. Let's do a quick recap of where we're at. In this case, this is the first time you're joining us this week. You can always go back into groups, remember that. And everything happens in Schoology. So you make sure you go to your Schoology. If you're a parent, if you're a student, if you're an employee, which that's me, get logged in. Parents, you have to be signed in to use that. If you're not quite signed through it, just go in with your students. And we're going to come into login. And of course, in our courses is where the activity this week. This is a science week. We have big projects in science this week. Next week will be history. You can look over here. You can look in your week 3. You can scroll down. You can find your areas of to find your doc. So in this case, we have Amplify week 1. Kick that microbiome and a slideshow will come up. If you have not opened it yet, you must click the link, click my document, click edit. If it says access denied, try it again, but slow down in the process. You might see something like click here if you can't see your document. But if it does say access denied, then click request access to Mr. Downs. It takes a little bit. I have to do an email. And then, it will accept it. So we're still working through some of the tech glitches. So right now we're looking at Brandon's. Brandon's done a great job so far. Remember all these slideshows, there'll be another slideshow tomorrow as we work through Amplify. Slideshows, both history and science weeks. You create the slideshows in history week. We explore slideshows that were created for us on science weeks. And so here we are in this slideshow. You can learn everything you need to do. We went all the way from the top. If this is the first time you're starting, scroll down, browse through the slides, watch the videos. There was a question about what about microorganisms you could answer. We did that in a chat room. Here's some information. And then we came down to here and we did a CR based on this slide, but we actually kind of created our own. Said, what will be your job as a student researcher in the microorganism world, or you were to write a CR based on things you have learned. Now look at Brandon, has a good start. He wants to move it. You want to always move your pictures so you can see your text. You're going to get better at playing with that. And so he did do that actually. Now that I see that, he had kind of worked it around there. There's tools for that. We're not going to focus on that too much. You need to explore that on your own. But notice he has a beautiful CR here. So what he wants to do now is we want to move our top slide to the top so it's easy to look at. So now we can check this and read, and we will work on that today in Zoom. So this was yesterday's lesson, just to let you know. That's down below, yesterday's lesson. Now for today's lesson, we're going to scroll down here, and I want to show you a little trick with these slides. As you click through them, notice this opens up a link. So these are places you can actually explore as you go through. Some do, some don't. So I just want you to keep that in mind as you're exploring your slideshows. If you're not in Zoom with us, these links open up. So exploring scale, if you click that, you're going to come into something that looks like this. And these are teacher directions. Don't worry about that. And we want to click this scale tool. So once you click that scale tool, you're going to open up this, and it's a fun little device. Now I will explain what to do if this doesn't work due to tech issues, etc. in just a minute. But if this works, I want you to see here it says electron, atom, cell. Now cells are something we can actually see cells with a basic microscope, and we will do that if we get back to class. But when you start getting below a cell, you need special microscopes to see that. But notice these are microscopic organisms. And we just want to play around with this. Look at how big things are. We can go all the way up to a human. You can have some fun there. Jellyfish, an egg. You can go all the way up to observable universe, which is pretty wild. So it's just a fun little tool to play with to get an idea of the different size of things and come all the way down into the cell area. Now once you're into the cell area, you are going to find that there's some items here that we can answer some questions to, and I'll show you where those questions are. right, so here we are at the heart. And the question we want to ask ourselves today, because this is a very important as a student researcher, as we go to solve health problems of real people, when we move through this lesson as scientists, we need to know the jobs of things. So like the job of the heart, if you click this, it will tell you. It tells you what the heart does. It pumps blood and oxygen through your body. So that's the job of the heart. Another word for job is function. What is the function of something? So let's scroll down here and focus on what we want to talk about today. You'll see these 4 items here. You have a chloroplast, you have cell nucleus, you have single-celled algae, and you have red blood cell. We're going to focus on the red blood cell, the cell nucleus, and the chloroplast today. Within each one of these paragraphs, you can see 5 to 7 words that will tell you the function or the job. One of the great things we want to learn how to do is get information from text. So we don't want all of it. We just says, what is the job of this chloroplast? And if you read carefully, you will find it tells you the job of a chloroplast, and that's what you can even copy and paste. I'm not going to show you where it is. Maybe we can do it with this one. Here you go. The mitochondria gives your cells the energy they need to perform all their functions. So the mitochondria gives your cells energy. So you could just copy that little bit, different ways to copy and paste. And then you could come right over here to your slideshow, and we're going to make a top slide. So we already have the CR slide. Well, we have a new top slide. So we're going to go like this. Find a fun one to put on there. You can do whatever one you want. The easiest basic one is down here called welcome. And we can put functions of cells, chloroplast, and what's the other one I did? Oh, nucleus. And then you go back and we go ahead and say, if we were doing, now remember I did the other item, I could paste there what I've discovered here about the mitochondria. And we will study all of this in depth as the year goes by, but we need to know about this for our investigations. So once again, I've written all this down in groups. You will see it here when this is completed. It tells you the basics of the assignment. Now what happens if you have glitches? You can't get this to work. Your computer won't load this. Well, then you simply go in and look up these 3 things on the internet like we always do and create a slide that way, which I will explain that as well in groups. All right, let's have a great day today. I hope to see you on Zoom. Zoom's the best place for learning. This Amplify curriculum is new to me, but it's looking very fun. I'm going to have some great slideshows and learn a lot today. So top slide, function, cells, chloroplast, and nucleus. Below that, yesterday's assignment, a CER about what you think your job is in the microorganism universe as a student researcher. Let's get rolling. Have a great day.